I'm giving steel mill realness. I'm giving steel mill realness. Whenever colonization or oppression happened, you can bet your bottom dollar that there was always resistance to it. Mm-hmm. Resistance was there from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And they're resisting because they cared not just about themselves. I'm not finna resist because I only care about myself. If you care about yourself and your survival, you will just concede to power. Yeah. When you act in individualistic ways like a Beyonce or a Kris Jenner or a Kim Kardashian or Kanye West and all these type of Candace Owens, when you act in your own individual interests, it's easy to get bought. Mm-hmm. That's business as usual. Mm-hmm. I care about myself, so
that's it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I'm not gonna move out of this neighborhood. I fucking like it here. Mm-hmm. And I like all the restaurants, and I don't care who the fuck was here first, because guess what? They ain't here now. Mm-hmm. And I had nothing to do with it. My family is nice, and we love black people.
We voted for Mamdani.
We voted for Mamdani. Mm-hmm. And this country was built by immigrants, so I had to immigrate to this neighborhood. It's something that the 50th anniversary of Resolution 3379.
Which is the Zionist is racism. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny.
I read.
Isn't that so funny? Mm-hmm. But guess who?
Let's start the podcast, babe.
Okay, we're going to start. We're starting. Hi, everybody.
Hi. We're back in studio. We tried.
Who knows if we gonna always be in studio?
Okay.
You know
we tried to do it at home, but the problem with doing it at home is this. Mm-hmm. Accountability. Okay? Yeah. That big A word is that when you do it at home, it's like, well, maybe we should clean up. Well, maybe we should watch that show. Well, maybe we got emails. When you come to studio, it's like you have to. You paid all this money. You got to show up. You got to do it. The lights are here. You don't have to set anything up. Shout out to the people who record their own podcasts at home, because it takes a level of discipline that is not necessary to doing it in studio. Does that make sense? It's a different level of discipline. Y'all are on
we were recording at home for like
we recorded
7 years.
Okay,
8 years.
Let me be clear. People that record at home with video, having the video content, recording a podcast at home without video is actually quite simple.
No, it's not simple.
Well, not simple in the editing process, but simple in the set up the mic and talk. But you can be in your underwear. You can be naked.
A podcast, when you are an independent podcaster and you are not affiliated with any large company, a production company, when you are self-produced, a podcast is a huge expenditure of labor.
You do get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
I'm talking about the video component. Everybody is doing video component.
Well, like I tell y'all all the time, video killed the radio star. Why is there such a high demand for video?
Here we go.
Is it more accessible? Is that why there is a demand?
It is more accessible.
But is there a demand for video outside of accessibility? There has to be some other.
I think people like to
see
lucrative. The mood. They like to see you interact. They want to see the vibe.
But the boom in podcasting, people are listening just like y'all do with music.
To your ear?
Just like what y'all do with music, y'all listen with your eyes, which is why y'all love all this Snow Allegra and all this extra shit, and that's why y'all listen to
your ear?
That's why y'all like. That's why y'all listen to all that gobbledygook and all this K-pop and all that trash.
What is that thing? K-pop Demon Hunters?
All that K-pop Demon Hunter, it sucks. It's trash. I'm going on record and I'm saying that it is an awful bastardization of what they believe to be Black American popular musical forms. They doing trap, they doing scat, they doing jazz.
What about that artist that I showed you the other day that was like slow jazzy? I forgot her name, but it's popular on TikTok.
I forgot who you talking about.
Love Pass, something like that.
Awful. Fake Amy Winehouse.
It's very, very, yes.
It's a fake ass Amy Winehouse. I'm sorry.
Can you appropriate Amy Winehouse? Amy Winehouse was appropriated.
No, I guess you can't appropriate an appropriator.
Was Amy Winehouse appropriated?
Erica, we are not going to get...
Okay, can we just take 5 seconds for this? This is a little music corner.
1 minute.
1 minute. Ebb's music corner for 1 second.
You didn't even barely speak. You didn't barely say what's up.
Yes, I did speak. How y'all doing? How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Hood Rat to
Head Rap.
Yeah.
And the place to be.
And shout out to Dame Products for supporting Sex Ed as Resistance. They have seriously allotted for, I think, over 35 people to attend
Probably
Sex Ed is
more,
Resistance. I think a bit more for free.
Yes.
So really grateful to them. Sex Ed is Resistance is still going strong.
Yes.
We have our winter cohort coming up here January 13th.
Yep.
Registration is still open. Our scholarships, unfortunately, is now closed, but we still have payment plan options. We will work with you. Please come. I would love to make Sex Ed is Resistance absolutely free for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you know a sponsor or if you are a sponsor who would like to sponsor, please hit us up. But again, thank you, Dame, for supporting us. Please go shop Dame. They're really great woman-owned sex ed toy brand. So go support them. Amy Winehouse. Is Amy Winehouse appropriating Black music? Because
and
it
culture,
is whiny.
What do you mean whiny, babe? You're not talking about her name being whiny.
I can't think of her. I can't think of the song.
I'm trying to make me go to rehab. I say
not rehab. What's the other one that I really like? That's more poppy. What's the other
put
one?
it in the box. She got a whole bunch of stuff. We all used to listen to Amy Winehouse.
The one that's very popular. What is it?
Valerie.
Thank you. Okay, the way that she sings Valerie. Now think about it. Would Jennifer Hudson ever sing like that?
First of all,
Houston ever sing like that?
Jennifer Hudson could blow down. She's one of the best. Jennifer Hudson would be one of the greatest soul singers of all time. Questlove is saying that after D'Angelo ain't no more soul singers. So that
it's not.
It died with D'Angelo.
You don't.
Jennifer
agree.
Hudson is the victim of poor song choice. That's the industry intentionally trying to curtail her career as a dark-skinned Black. Actually, traditional.
Okay, that's a tangent.
R&B
That's
singer.
a tangent. You're gonna make this longer.
But Jennifer Hudson ain't gonna sing no Valerie crap.
But that song is good.
It's not that good, babe. It's just like catchy, poppy, formulaic music. Like,
but
it's
would you
trying
say
to
that's a better
emulate
song
the
than
60s.
Spotlight?
It's trying to emulate the 60s girl group.
How would
No,
Amy
I love
Winehouse sing Spotlight?
I
don't like
Erica, please. Spotlight is my shit, but that's the only song.
Live.
Erica, please stop.
Rest in peace, Amy Winehouse. I don't know if I agree.
Rest in peace to her, but
I don't think that
you don't agree because you like her. You are just
no. It's not like because I like her. It's not because I like her. That's not it. I think
you think
she has
sings
a different
white
style of music. Yes, I don't think it's Black.
What is the specific special style of music that she has, and what's the source material that she was drawing from to create and craft this said special, unique way of singing?
You have to come back to me on that.
Okay.
I just don't know that it's like rooted in like gospel or like, R&B or rock and roll.
She's trying.
It don't.
She literally has a song where she's like talking about her obsession, her sexual obsession with Nas.
That's weird. That don't have
like that. She wrote a song for Nas.
But what does that have to do with?
Babe, you are being willfully ignorant in relationship to Amy Winehouse on this podcast.
You really think that people will wholeheartedly agree that Amy Winehouse is a cultural appropriator of Black music? And I look across the water. Okay, you're right. You're right.
Let her rest. Rest in peace.
You don't like Amy Winehouse?
Wait
a minute.
We did used to all listen to Amy Winehouse.
Wait a damn minute. Are you about to say you don't like Amy Winehouse?
I used to be a fan of Amy Winehouse music before I got consciousness.
But Amy Winehouse music with consciousness is excellent. That sounds so good. And yes, it does copy.
What is the white women's obsession with the 50s and the 60s? Because ain't she trying to have that aesthetic? They have something with the 60s. I don't think she's trying to be a trad wife, though.
It's that,
but she's trying.
Whiny. That's what I'm saying. Who sings whiny like that? Other than Keith Sweat.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's the only singer that comes to mind that sings whiny like that.
It's a nasally tone, but
singing like that as a Black person, like a Black
Candy. Candy has a very nasally voice. It's not about that, babe. It's not.
It is a little bit
about the
it's really
tone.
about the actual music.
Yes.
Before she started singing for Valerie, I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, and I already take it back. So
yes.
I didn't feel like Amy Winehouse was culturally appropriated. But the thing is, I'm talking about her voice. Mm-hmm. So I'm not talking about the music, but it's all of it. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you play Valerie, I had to play a little bit of it. It's like the bass, the guitar, the piano, like it's all very R&B formula. So yes, Amy Winehouse absolutely does culturally appropriate. However, what I was talking about was the whininess of her voice. The only person I can think about that's like that is like
nasal tone.
The nasal tone is like it's Keith Sweat. A lot of gospel, rock and roll based singers with that foundation sing from their diaphragm. In my opinion, Amy Winehouse don't sing from her diaphragm. She sing from her nose. So
Keith Sweat gets a really bad rap. In the sense that I think because of his tone, it's almost comically nasally, or it can seem that way. People don't believe that Keith Sweat is a good singer. However, Keith Sweat's catalog and his composition and his lyricism, Amy Winehouse was never able to match that. So it's hard to compare similar tone singers to black singers, because not only do the black singers sort of take that tone and they make it, what Keith Sweat is able to do with them whiny ass ballads is something that no other, and especially no white singer, has ever been able to do with their tone. Where that's signature, where you know a Keith Sweat song as soon as it comes on.
But I would say I would know an Amy Winehouse song as soon as it comes on too.
Yeah, but there's only one Keith Sweat. Yeah. They're going to make more Amy. They've already started to make more Amy.
Yeah, like the Olivia, I was talking about, who I couldn't think of was the Olivia Dean person who has I can't remember the name of the song.
And they not white, they mix black person.
A couple minutes, there goes your show.
That's awful. It's just terrible.
And what about Folded? Because they said that Kehlani
no, Folded. What is Folded?
Folded.
How'd that
pick
go?
Up your clothes, pick up, baby, come pick up your clothes. I had them folded. Leave me at the clothes.
Where are people getting this? My thing is that I've always, babe.
Am I a medium singer? Go ahead. What, the lyrics?
Just everything.
Everybody has covered it now. Neo, Brandy.
It's just annoying. It sounds like, I don't know. It's all of this music is formulaic. This music is a representation of our times.
This is why
this is the soundtrack to the times that we live in.
This is why I said I was so sad about D'Angelo passing. And I want to go back to whoever did the thread and said they understand now how SZA sings in cursive because they've been listening to D'Angelo. I want to go back and just, what? Because what?
Who says things like this?
That's the same to
yourself.
Me as, and I don't even think Kehlani would agree with this, is that Kehlani's the new face of R&B.
Who said that?
This is people on Threads.
I think this is not a wide consensus. It's not, there is no consensus.
I don't think it's a wide
consensus. This is one of those things that you see and you just ignore it. And you don't repeat it, and you don't want it to become entrenched. I don't even want people to get the idea that that is somehow ever going to be the case, or is the case now. No.
Yeah. You said you disagree with Questlove because he said that D'Angelo was the last soul singer. I don't know that I disagree, but I understand Bilal is still out here.
It's not just Bilal. I mean,
I think Duran Bernard as well.
That's the thing with these genres, is that they're nebulous and they overlap. And what is the difference between a soul? Most people, I believe it was D'Angelo, and other people have already said there ain't no such thing as neo soul. He was sort of taking umbrage with people trying to pigeonhole his sound into neo soul. He's like, I make rock, I make funk, rock soul, funk soul. D'Angelo was making a blend. It was blending all of those genres, which are naturally blended, which are because they come from Negro spirituals, which gave way to gospel. All of this is gospel, Negro, spiritual, folk way music, right? Utilizing the blues scale, which was created by Black people, right? The actual musical scale and notation is being created in that way by Black people. So again, on the piano.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times with genres, you got to start to think about where they come from. I'm just thinking about where everything come from.
Yeah.
I feel like a damn newborn baby the more questions that I ask.
Yeah.
Because even this idea of soul, you know, there's so many different subcategories of soul. When a white person sing it, they call it, with Justin Timberlake, blue-eyed soul. In the 60s and the 70s in Britain, people who sang like, or white people who discovered the Supremes and the LaBelles and other, 60s Black girl groups or rare deep cut R&B music, they would call that, or psych rock or whatever, they would start to call that Northern soul, right? A white person came up with that. Miles Davis, I got a lot of issues with Miles Davis. But he said, we did not call this music jazz. A white man came up with that. We didn't need to name it jazz. He had to name that so he could understand it better. So he can understand the music that we made because it was too advanced.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. He said jazz is too advanced for white people. That's really the what he's intimating. So also the naming of a thing, to label it, is to do a Mount Rushmore on it. Yeah. In a lot of ways. Yeah. So these record companies and the recording industry is very interested in naming and labeling things to make them more intelligible to white people who they hope to market it toward, the people who have the most money. So that's with anything. So I'm like, maybe D'Angelo is the last soul singer, but the problem is that there are other black folks who are singing soul, who are singing black music, who are doing rock and who are doing funk and psych rock and acid jazz, and who are doing all of this, but we don't know who they are because they don't have the backing, because they don't look like Olivia Dean.
Well, you know that person, I don't know their name right now off the top of my head because I forgot, but there's a black person who's now a millionaire because she created an AI singer. And she was just interviewed and she was like, what? I don't understand. Like, what's the problem? Like, I can't sing, but she can, the AI. But to me, I'm like, a lot of these singers can't sing. Taylor Swift can't sing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because Robin Roberts was essentially trying to discredit her because she's created this AI singer who's now very popular. You should be discrediting the people who listen to it. The AI is not real. Yes. So the AI also can't sing.
No, the AI can't sing. That's a good point. Now that I think about it, well,
it's not a person.
True.
Yeah, I forgot their name. Y'all can put the name in the comments. I just thought that was funny. Like, so y'all are not.
But
trying
why
to preserve.
are y'all creating AI? But it's a new.
Why are you creating? But honestly, because you're like, where is this coming from? It sounds AI to me. It's no shade. A lot of the new music sounds very much like a computer made it, and not like robotic, like, oh, let's get it, like 70s, like let's break dance. Yes. It sounds like it just don't have no groove. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. When I listen to any sort of like old school R&B, like a Shaka Khan record or even Erykah Badu, it's a groove. I'm in a groove.
It got that pocket.
It's like
the instrumentation is not there for a lot of these songs.
The instrumentation alone is not.
The instrumentation is being made. A lot of digital audio workstations and Logic and Pro Tools and these other GarageBand and even the more industry standard things, Ableton. All of that, to some degree, music production is using artificial intelligence. It is using a simulated sound of the actual instrument, simulating the sound of actual instruments.
So it's not an actual instrument.
So sometimes it's not, but people have been using that for a long time in the music industry, like Stevie Wonder and even Sly Stone. They talk about when Sly Stone started to use a drum machine. If you want me to stay.
Oh, that's
like
But you still, the thing is there's a difference that even if you use that, the drum player and all that, you still know how the drum is supposed to sound.
Yes.
So you're going to have a different view on it. If I go and create a song, my song is going to sound, that sounds like what a drum can sound like. It's not like you've been studying music. I think it requires that you study music. And what these programs do, in particular AI, allows it for somebody who can't sing, who have no musical acumen, to create an AI, artist that goes viral. I think that's the part that people really need to be sitting
with. And by studying music, you don't mean just like go and study classically trained. Like listen to music.
You sit at restaurants or bars or whatever. You go to concerts. I ain't talking about big time concerts. I'm talking about like little small scale shit in like a jazz jazz club and listen to study. That's what I mean.
Yes, in a lot of ways. Even though that becomes the thing is that it's all about money. So an AI singer or a quick little, like, let's have a devastating heartbreak ballad softly sung, like, that is the Olivia Dean person. Like, that music is very easy to emulate.
Yeah.
Like, they're emulating Amy Winehouse. That's who they say their inspiration is, Adele and Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
And Lauryn Hill, which I'm like, you born in 1999, so you don't know no better, no shade.
Yeah.
Like, you will be like, oh, all of those eclectic tastes together make you.
Yeah.
But you have not emulated Lauryn Hill in no form or fashion.
Yeah.
Like, at all. But you got the Amy Winehouse and the Adele down pat.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Adele is not a talented, she's definitely a cultural appropriator.
Yeah.
Not saying that these are not talented vocalists and singers.
Yeah.
But they lack the ability to sing in a tradition that does not follow the blueprint that Black people have laid.
Yeah.
They're not able to sing, even a person like Carole King, all of those type of old white singers. It's like white people can't help but to appropriate. And that's the hard part for me. It's like, you always say you want the white singers to go back singing white.
Yes. I want an Alanis Morissette. I want a Fiona Apple. Give it to me.
But even now,
there's a funny ass TikTok where this Black person is like, white boys, put down the podcast mics and get in the garage.
No. Well, that's where all of this, but that's the appropriation started in the garage. And in the basement. Yeah. This obsession with Blackness and Black people.
Yeah.
I loved in Questlove documentary about Sly Stone, and they interviewed one of the people, a part of the Sly family, a white guy, and he was like, I was just so obsessed with Black people. I was a white person, and I just wanted to be a Black man. I just wanted to be Black. The fact that he said that with so much candor, I appreciate it. Because I don't know why they won't just say it.
Yeah.
Just go on out and say it, Kim Kardashian, all the rest of you. I'm literally procreating the whole family, the Jenners Kardashians. I'm procreating with Black so that I can have Black children, so that I can be, that is my proximity to Blackness.
Yeah.
I'm going to literally recreate myself over again in the image of my child as a Black person.
Yeah. Yeah.
The why of it all is a more historical, deeper, psychological, pathological investigation that needs to be done. But I just wish that there was more like.
But I don't think it is. I don't know if that particular person is a good example of this. I don't know if it's actual love, though. I don't think the Kardashian Jenner family or anyone that appropriates to that extent actually loves Black people.
No, it's not a love.
It's you want to consume. You want to consume us. You want to have what we have, but you see, it's just like the AI person. The person, Zana Monet is the artist. Okay, that's the AI artist.
Yeah.
And the person that created it, her name is Talisha Nikki Jones. Oh, the creator is not creating somebody that's fat. Not creating somebody that doesn't have phenotypically, I wouldn't say they're racially ambiguous features, but kinda. Like, they're not but that person don't have an afro. They have straight hair, straight, long, flowy hair.
You said if it's AI, you could have created anything.
You could have created anything, but you created something in particular that people would like because, like you said, people listen with their eyes. And the industry knows that for a long time. What were they doing in the 60s? Well, even before that, the 50s and the 60s with race music. Those are white people on the covers.
Yeah,
they didn't just do that because they were racist. They did that because people listen with their eyes, and they wouldn't have listened to Black music. So it's the same thing with the Kardashian Jenner family, right? And I would argue, because what also was in the Sly Family Stone documentary, Rest in Peace, Sly, is that he also had weird relationship to race.
Oh yeah, he did.
He didn't think about why is this white man, okay, y'all got to get together. Sly Stone didn't say we're not going to have no white person in this band. So there's a thing. It's like Black people need to be responsible.
He said we're everyday people.
Look at the
short, one a black, one a yellow, and a red. That's
a bop.
But it was like, was Everyday People a song that would pacify people? Would it help neutralize?
That's how I feel about my favorite house song.
But would it help
my heart
neutralize the growing discontent and disillusionment that Black people were having with white people? Well, not even just with white people, but figuring out like this is the height of the Black Panther Party. Like we're going to start defending ourselves against white violence and against white hegemony, where the Black Panther Party is looking at and had been looking at all the revolutionary independence movements in Africa in the 50s.
Yep.
Those are armed self-defense movements and revolutions against white colonizers. So you come out with shit that's played on the Tide commercial now.
People.
That's on motherfucking Pine Saw commercials and shit.
You got a person in your band that's talking about, I want it to be a black person. I know they told you that. And you still kept them in the band. That's why they're saying it on, that's what you have to think about. They're saying that in the documentary because a black person said it's cool to say.
Oh yeah, back in them days, they
absolutely.
And I won't say that because I think our parents and their generation
Flintstone had weird politics, babe.
He did.
Our parents, you talk about the boomers. The boomers love white people. Like, unless they're from the Bay and they were part of the Black Panther Party, my dad, I wouldn't say
even some of the Black Panthers over.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because the misogyny was misogyny.
Right, it was. But the thing that you said about the white people who appropriate black culture, I love what you said. It's not that they love or like. That obsession and love and like is not appreciation.
No.
It doesn't, and even appreciation is not love, like, adoration. And we were having a larger conversation about gentrification. I don't want to get preempted so much.
Yeah.
But it's like this idea that I don't even know if love is even something that can be had between black people and white people, given the origins of the way the country was created, but even the world was created, and the origins of how black and white was created, and whiteness is a sort of an accretion over time of myths and beliefs that these people who would come to call themselves white created about themselves through the othering of anybody who they thought was not white, i.e. black. If that's the case, where does our love come from? How do you create love anew out of that? Because to your point, I would think that if you appropriating black culture that you would love. I'm thinking if you moving into black neighborhoods in mass to the point where motherfucking 37,000, 35,000 more white people plus moved into Crown Heights, a smallish kind of neighborhood in Brooklyn. If all of y'all are descending upon neighborhoods that are predominantly or have been historically black, I would think just like anybody, oh, you must really like black people to like being around black stuff or black culture. Like, I would think that you love, like Kardashians, y'all love the niggas y'all laying with.
But I think you're making a really good point because you're saying that you don't think that it's possible. And I think that that's I think that's a valid point. At first I was like, is it not? No, but there's that big power differential. And what we've also been sitting with is why this is not a leap, I don't think. I think it is in line with why was there even an Epstein Island? Like, why was that a thing? Why did Epstein participate in sex trafficking? Why did any of the slave traffickers participate in sex trafficking? Why did they do this to this extent? Why did white people do it? It's power. That is all sexual violence is. It's a function of power. How can I have power and dominance over someone else? It don't have nothing to do with desire. It has nothing to do with love. Do you get what I'm saying? But people conflate those things because under capitalism, we're taught to believe that love and power can go together.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Literally, capitalism says, oh, if you buy me this thing, then that means you must love me. A lot of people who are in abusive relationships, a lot of times have a hard time getting out of them because, one, they are financially bound to another person, but two is that they gaslight themselves into believing that the person cares about them. And I don't mean just romantic. I mean also parental relationships, friendships. We are in abusive relationships at times. And those people will, they bought us something. They bought me. Well, they bought me a ring.
They take care of me.
They pay for the rent.
Yeah.
They bought me food.
Yeah.
How could they be gaslighting me and being emotionally manipulative and physically abusive? It's okay. Like, I have to say, like, we are in a world that has conditioned us to believe that power and dominance is equal to love.
So Tina Turner was right on time.
100%.
What's love got to do with it?
What's love got to do with it?
That was deep.
It's a valid question.
This is somebody who had been abused.
But you're asking it on just a whole other level too. I think it's really profound.
I have white people. Do I have white people in my life I love? I'm about to lie. I like one or two.
Yeah.
And I mean that like seriously on my life, like one or two.
Yeah.
And I love them, but I'm conditioned to love them. Black people are conditioned to love white people. And
I think that's too what I'm hearing. It's like you're speaking from a Black person's point of view of like, I love you. And I think the real question is, are white people capable of love?
I think that human beings, I mean, this is more your foray as a sex educator. This is getting more into your field because, again, the even concept of love, right? Bell Hooks talks about and all about love. Bell Hooks is big on love. She's like, you can't have no type of revolution. We can't actually... Bell Hooks essentially says because of all the systems of oppression and the institutionalized forms of violence against marginalized people, particularly Black people, and poor people, disabled people, the way that we survive so that we can overcome that dominator culture, as she calls it, is through love. We care for each other inside of communities and love one another and be in relationship with one another as survival. We need it to survive, and it is a good thing, and it is. And it's, I believe her wholeheartedly. And she talks about romance, though, as like, that is more of a capitalistic creation. Like, that is inside of racial capitalism. You get romance because you get a romance industry. You get in books, you get men are from Mars, women is from Venus, that type of stuff. I guess my whole thing with love is like, if I grow up in such a world as the one that we live in and that we've bequeathed, that is, by all intents and purposes, a white supremacist capitalist worldview, if I grow up in that, love is either the only thing that stabilizes me and has me not believe the things that I'm told or live the lies created by that type of paradigm, or love is somehow emergent from that. Love might be a byproduct. The way that we think about love in our culture in the United States, it might be inside of some bullshit. Like, it might not be inside of...
Not might. It is.
Right, but how do we... But me and you, we love each other. Like, I love you. I don't love you in that way, based on the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy paradigm.
How do you know you don't?
What do you mean how I know?
I'm just asking, as people listening, how do you know? How do you differentiate? Because that's where people are probably going to ask for. What is the distinction?
I think growing up, I never felt that type of love because I come from a... Not without its faults, but I felt like I had a loving childhood and I felt loved. Like, as a child, I felt love. Like, where I'm like, that doesn't mean that they had a lot to give me. And I never social material things, so they didn't give me that much. Because we didn't have all that.
Babe, you're the youngest. You did have.
I got material things. Yes, I did. I did. However, but it wasn't like a lot, babe. We grew up. We didn't have.
Babe, you had a great deal of things.
No, babe.
From your family.
Babe, you can't talk about my socioeconomic background growing up because it's different than yours.
I'm not.
I grew up on stamps.
You're talking like I don't
remember
know
when
you.
Stamps used to be the paper stamp where you have to go into the store with a book of food stamps. It was not no.
Was it you that had Jordans every year?
No, and guess what those Jordans was put on? Layaway.
Or not?
I got them, but the thing is like I talked about it in another episode. Is like what my mom and them had to do just to afford them.
And I understand that. I'm just saying that you had.
Babe, that's not important for you to distinguish what I had.
It is in the sense.
It's not.
It is in the sense that you still had things. That's all I'm saying.
You're trying to say more than other people, or in general?
I'm talking about you. I'm not comparing.
I'm just saying that my love was not materially based. It wasn't. I felt love because of the people that were around me. My family, my cousins, my brother, my sister, my uncles, my aunts, my grandmother. Like, we just had so much people around us. It was such a community, like our, 9-8, where I grew up, where we live. I guess you call it a project. It's just like thinking about my neighbors, Gloria and Queen Nesta and all them people. Like, I'm just thinking that have passed on. Like, I'm thinking about all of them, and we're a community. So I never felt like I learned love from the world. I only started to learn love from the world when I got older. I felt like I've had love in me, and I've known that I have love in me. I don't know. I feel love. I don't know how to explain it. It's probably not making much sense. I'm sure other people I'm sure a white person could easily say the same thing. The point that I'm making is that the way that I love you is not... I'm not loving you because you do things for me. You didn't never do nothing for me to love you. I just loved you. You know, it's like a fall in love or I don't even know if I believe in fall in love, but it's like a, you know, that amorous feelings.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it is like an amorous romance kind of eros desire type of feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
But I feel like how we choose to live our lives every day is us in love in a different way.
Yeah.
We don't love each other based on how the world is telling us to love each other.
Yeah, yeah.
That two black people love each other at all. Two black queer people.
Yeah.
Non-cisgender people love each other at all. When we're the most unlovable, according to that white supremacist worldview.
I think that's what we're taught, is that we black people are inherently unlovable.
Yes.
Right. And all we have is hate, and we commit all these crimes and we cause all this violence, when that is literally so far from the truth, right? In reality. And I know that humans are more similar than they are different.
Yes.
And the way that we have been created under this construction called white supremacy is quite distinct from the actual way that we are.
Yes.
And I feel like white people live inside of how they've been created more than who they are as human beings, which is why I think they are capable of love. I just think that a lot of racial and social justice conversations are rooted in teaching white people how to love.
Yes.
Because they are so dependent on, kind of groomed towards
the state.
Power and having power over anything. Like, that's why I don't think any person that's culturally appropriating, or any artist or any person in the music industry, or anybody in television and film, or whatever it is, that centers someone that has proximity to whiteness, or a person that is white but has these like black aesthetic or black features, gives a fuck about black people. What you care about is power, right? I don't think you actually care. So all those invitations to the cookout, all of that stuff, it shows the love of black people. It shows how we love. It does. But it's egregious.
I'll give you that.
It's egregious, but we literally are like, oh, you cool? You do all that? Come to the cookout. We don't have no business doing that, because they don't actually give a fuck. And we will not hold the invitation to a black person, but we will hold the invitation to a white person.
So that's how I know it ain't love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if the barrier to entry is higher for somebody who look like you that's black.
It would be higher for someone that's black, because of how we've been conditioned to see black people. We are not exempt from that. You don't require, white people don't have to do much at all. I don't think people understand that. Like, that's the end of the sentence. White people don't have to do much at all. Like, period. Across the board. From the workplace to relationships to whatever. Period. They don't have to.
You made a good point about the cookout thing, because I always notice this whole rhetoric of, I've heard like a lot of non-black people of color say this, where they've said, you know, I've always told my children, if you're ever by yourself and you're in trouble, find a black woman.
What?
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oh, it's a very popular
I hate
rhetoric.
that. Leave us
but
alone.
But why'd you have such a visceral reaction to that?
Alone. And I know I
but
identify as a black woman, but they would see me as that on the street. So
they're gonna try to find
the
you.
labor. It just feels like like I understand it in the point that we're making right now, and that's irritating to me because we have been in a lot of ways conditioned to love. That's the only way that we are able to exist. We're not able to be angry, right? We're not able to go on a serial killer spree. Like, how many serial killers exist that were black?
There's some.
Not many.
But guess who they killing?
Because they get caught immediately.
But guess who they're killing?
Right. Who?
Us.
Exactly. They ain't killing. And when they are killing other black people, they're not quick to find them. Right?
And
but
they ain't gonna call him a serial killer.
Okay.
That was their cousin. Fuck. It's not funny, but I'm just.
All I'm saying is it irritated me because I just want to be left alone. We cannot save everybody. That is like the equivalent of you think.
But why don't they say find a white woman? Why, if I'm in trouble and I'm by myself?
I would tell East, find a black person.
No, I'm gonna say, you ever in trouble? Go find a white woman.
No, you ever in trouble? Go find a black
see what happens.
Go find somebody that look like TT. And that's it. Don't.
But this is the thing.
They'll actually do something. However, I will say, you
just said we're not exempt.
We're not exempt. However, there's a hard
adopting
part
white
in this
supremacist
because
ideals.
these churches, I mean, this is not what we talked about, but I have to throw this in there a little bit. There's a person on TikTok who has been calling churches across the country and does not have a real baby, but has like a little soundbite of a baby crying in the background, asking for formula. She's not asking for money. She's asking for formula and I think clothes. And all of the churches have said no. And a mosque has said yes, and somewhere else has said yes. I can't remember the other place, but a mosque. And a church recently responded. It's a black church in Louisiana.
She asked white churches too.
She asked white churches too, but she asked.
They also declined.
She went across. I said they all declined, babe. But this is making the point of that. This was a black church, okay? And the preacher just recently did a sermon saying that we had a TikTok demon. I'm some paraphrasing, but he did use the word phrase, TikTok demon.
I like that.
Call asking for formula and then literally put on the TV, here's a picture of WIC and how WIC will supply you formula when you leave the hospital. You don't think the babies need formula past the hospital? No. Or is it just...
He said, go back to the hospital. Where you came from?
He literally said, get out of here, devil, essentially.
I don't know why that's so funny.
So I say all that to say that I have concerns that we as black people do move away from our conditioning.
Have we been
to love, to give, to support people?
Have we moved away from it, or are they moving us away from it?
No, that's what I said. It's a conditioning. So a conditioning can shift. So that's what I'm saying.
But it's something done to you. You are conditioned. You
done?
are groomed. You don't groom yourself.
What's the thing that's done?
The thing is, the black church used to be a place where it was a revolutionary space, especially in New York City. Black churches, and that's where you would go to not just get food when you didn't have nothing. It would be where you go to plan the insurrection. It would be where you go to plan what we're going to do. It was a strategic planning meeting around all different types of uprisings and all type of shit, but also people would come and get their material needs met because that was the only place you could go. All this language now, it's like everything... Where I'm at and where I stand is that everything is being made for and toward white people benefit. Even radicalism, even the term mutual aid. Black churches, black people weren't calling it mutual aid. They were paying for funerals and burying black people on church plots because you couldn't get buried with the whites at the white cemetery, or the white people refused to bury you.
What is the thing
that's causing us to be moved away? It's racial capitalism.
100%.
As Ruth Wilson Guillermo said, all capitalism is racial.
Right. It's similar to the other church. I can't remember. It was one of the Winans where they came up and brought, I think it was like $1,500 or it was $1,800. And she was like, I'll get the $200 later. She came up to the pulpit and said that. And he was like, I said $2,000, not $1,800.
I know he didn't talk to her like that.
He said that on the microphone in that tone of voice.
And what did she say?
She said, I understand. I'm going to get it together.
She didn't say that.
If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Christendom was used as a weapon from the get-go.
Yeah.
From the onset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is distinct from Christ and Christ's teaching.
Yeah.
Christ did not recognize himself as a Christian. That's not what he called himself. This is a tool of promulgating and spreading whiteness so that you could create in the others, the barbarians, the deviants, you can actually have in them a soul. The Spanish and all of them and these early colonizers, the French and all of these people, they would literally sit around and have debates on whether or not the indigenous people in the Americas, when we go over there, do they have souls? Should we try to convert them? Do they even have souls by which to convert? Right? And now fast forward thousands of years, and now we're saying countries have souls.
Yeah.
Right? But that was a big thing. Saving your soul. I'm going to give you a soul. I'm going to animate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you have a soul.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise you don't have one. Only white people have souls.
Yeah.
That is deep.
Yeah.
Right? So now, if I see the figure of this white Jesus, and this white Jesus is now representing the Holy Spirit and dwelling in me, this image of this white person who was not actually white, the historical figure of Jesus, not white, not with white skin. But if I'm looking at that and I'm saying that this is the thing or the person I'm supposed to praise and love, then I'm not going to necessarily praise and love any of my congregants that look like me that are.
I think it's deeper than
I'm going to exploit them just like.
I think it's deeper than that. I think you see the Joel Osteens and all these other white, wealthy Christian mega churches, and you want to be like them. I don't think this has anything to do with even the ways that Christ has been painted, literally, physically painted. I don't know.
Things from old have such, it's almost like we're going in reverse.
The money piece, though.
The money piece was always there. Who told the Portuguese they needed to go anywhere? Portuguese is the first people to ever have kidnapped Africans from the continent was the Portuguese. Who told them that they needed to expand? Why do nation states expand? Why did that have to be a part of the way that they organize their society?
I don't know the answer.
But that's the thing that I'm saying about white people or people who eventually became thought of as white. It's not like white people are in a rush to disavow that they're white. Right? They know that this is the cultural and social value and historical value under which they came to be. But for some reason, people just disconnect from history. It's like those things have nothing to do. Early colonization has nothing to do with late colonization. Gentrification in Brooklyn is not genocidal in nature. And not only that, not settler colonialism. Gentrification is just something else. They just like living there. And they have a right to live there. What's wrong with that? So we're all in this subterfuge of what's wrong with that? Everything's fine. What's wrong with him the church is not wanting to give the person formula? You can go get formula from anywhere. She wasn't being honest. She was doing a social experiment.
That's what he was saying.
Not understanding that none of this is an ethic or value of love. None of this is an ethic or value of, oh, we care about another person. Right? That's not the social culture of the United States. So you're calling American churches and they're giving you American answers inside of American values called go get it yourself. You shouldn't have been up in that bed. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
They're thinking about sex. First time when she said formula, the first thing they thought was she fucked. That's what they thought about. They didn't even see formula. They didn't even see the pregnancy. They just said, you had a baby.
Where's the man at?
That's it. So we have a sex-obsessed, antisocial, white supremacist, racial, capitalist patriarchy. That's what we live in. So no, I would never call the church and ask for nothing.
You wouldn't, even as a Christian.
and I'll be honest, I don't even know if I'm a Christian.
You've shifted?
I've always questioned whether or not that label is in alignment with my values.
Move from that, why wouldn't you call churches and ask?
Because the churches of old, when Black people felt as though we had no choice but to coalesce our efforts and work together as a community, the church has moved away from wanting to do that. To your point, I do agree with you. The church has moved away from the radical role that it played in the Black radical tradition and the role that it played against white supremacy. The church has moved toward this sort of colorblind prosperity gospel. The Creflo Dollars and the Joel Osteen, like, just give me money. The TD Jakes, all of that. Why the pastor got to be looking like that, driving Rolls Royces and all that extra type of shit?
Yeah.
Why the church needs big ass stained glass windows?
Televisions.
Right? Why does the church have a whole...
that they care about people? I mean, look, I have an aunt that, rest in peace, Aunt Judy, who died with very little money in her, like, to her name because she gave so much to the church. She was asking me for money. Yeah. She was asking the queer bank that she didn't agree with.
And the queer bank was giving
And the queer bank was giving it.
Yes.
Like, literally, the queer child your queer niece.
That you shunned.
That you were being homophobic towards was quicker to give you money than that institution that you believe that you were supposed to give, 10% of what you make? I think she was giving more than that. I think she was giving like 50% of what she makes.
But you're giving to a symbol, right?
That's teaching you to hate me. But I'm the one that's...
But that's where Erica, that's where we are. Kehlani is now the face of R&B.
Well, how does that connect, babe?
Everything is, ain't nothing making sense right now. If they say 1 + 1 is 2, if you say 1 + 1 is 2, they're going to tell you it's actually 73. And people going to be like, what's wrong with that? What's the problem with that? I can see how that could be. You got to think about it from this perspective.
Yeah.
Then you put a podcast mic in front of them. Now everybody's like, yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
anything.
Say that. Right.
Like, when you endow people with the power of a podcast, Mike. Yeah. So this is the thing that I'm saying. I'm not saying that everything that we say is right or true, but
what we're talking about is from books.
We're sorting through, but we
citing.
But we like to ask questions.
Yes,
and that's the thing. It's like podcasting used to be about people coming together, having questions, answering a question, thinking about a question, talking to one another about questioning together. Not these platforms for your already fully developed, rehearsed, scripted, 1,000-year-old, antiquated, bigoted, sexist views.
Yeah.
That's what the podcasting is now.
Yeah.
And niggas sitting up back and forth arguing about dumbass shit that don't nobody want to hear. Now you got this thing called the manosphere, where now black cis men want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of niggas having their own shit, now y'all rushing to, oh, bro, the manosphere, bro.
I don't think they actually say the manosphere.
No, I promise to God, they do.
They do?
The manosphere is not a fringe term.
Oh.
They call it the manosphere. This is, and that's why, so I'm not saying that everything is not real or, or meaningless. I am a fairly nihilistic, politically I'm nihilistic, as in there's no inherent meaning or value in our current established order, because our current established order is one that's built off of genocide and enslavement.
Okay.
And it continues to this day. So I don't know how I'm going to separate how I love. If I don't take the time and say to myself, I have to love my partner or my family or my child in a more careful way or intentional way, because I could easily fall into the culture that we've been given. If I know that this culture exists of domination and control and taking away people's autonomy and of non-consent, I have to be ever more mindful. Like, it makes me feel more empowered about the decisions I make. It don't make me feel like white people, oh, I'm guilty, or oh, I don't know what to do, and what do we do, and oh, there's nothing we can do. I don't feel that way. I feel empowered by the knowledge that other people have died and sacrificed their life so that I could have. Right? All of this work, like Dr. Joy James and these other people, she's saying if they don't disappear us physically, they're going to try to disappear our work. Right? So when we ask these questions on our podcast, on Hood Rat to Head Rat, we are doing so with primary source material from our own lives, but also from the lives of the tradition in which we come from our lineage. So it being enslaved, it being kidnapped, and being told that you are nothing is a part of black people's mitochondrial DNA. When I ask, can white people love, or is it capable of them to love us or each other or any other race or group, I'm asking that inside of what's in their mitochondrial DNA. What's in their ancestral DNA? Like, what has the culture and society of whiteness imbued on them? Right? Are we always looking at us? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, why do black people do this? And why do we do this and that? It's important, yes, to look at that, but it's not enough attention being paid to why they do the things they do. And we're conditioned to all just be like, well, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, they appreciate. Yeah. Amy Winehouse. It's fine. This is what people say throughout the years. Yeah. And you meet so much opposition when you say something different.
Yeah, I think this does answer my question then, because I asked you and Elle, a good friend of ours who's also been on the podcast, what is it going to require? It's kind of rhetorical, but not. What is it going to require for white people to do something? Right? What is it going to require? What does change require in general? So this could be really for any racial, gender background, class background. What does it require? And, I asked this on Instagram, and a lot of people replied and said, it requires force, which I understand, right? I understand that slavery was not going to end because white people were like, oh, this is bad. They had the information, right? They knew that it was bad. They
went back and forth.
But it's a good question. Are you conditioned to love? Can you actually love if you can enslave people for 250 years plus?
Can you love if you move?
Money from literal private prisons, and the fact that prisons still exist, are you actually capable of love when you benefit from prisons still existing? Is that possible? Like, do you even think about that? Is it possible for you to be capable of love if you benefit from the genocides that are happening in Sudan, Congo, Palestine, Haiti, black trans women across the damn planet?
If it's all done
in your name.
In the name. Your name.
In your name.
In the name. That's what my grandmother used to always say about Jesus. In the name. It's deep.
Are you really capable? And also the other side of that is, are you actually capable of change? If you get to benefit, if you get to have the $1 million home in, let's say, even New Jersey, you get to live in $1 million home in New Jersey, a suburb of New Jersey, and you get to commute to New York City. You get to still have your job. You have to easily get the house in New Jersey because you're white, because you got credit, which is inside of a racist creation to exclude people. You don't have much debt, or your debt is maintained. It's a low threshold of debt. If you get to have all those things, are you actually going to push up against the factors that have other people not have that?
No, I'm not.
It's like people get in the neighborhood and they're like, well, time to organize and support, but I got my house. You don't have your house, but let me organize now.
Yeah, I want to be you in Brooklyn, and you white people part of the Tenants Association in gentrified neighborhoods. Crown Heights, when we were living there, and they said that over 30, not just that there was a mass of the tens of thousands exodus over, I think, 10 years of Black residents in Crown Heights, but it was like 37 to 40,000 more white people just in a span of a few years.
I mean, one of our best friends,
is that possible?
One of our best friends lives in Bed-Stuy, and sitting on her stoop, it's like night and day from when I lived in Bed-Stuy. And I lived in Bed-Stuy over 12 years ago. It's night and day. As I have never seen this many white people literally outside of Williamsburg.
Neither have they.
Yeah. Like, I'm looking at y'all, and it's strange. Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
Or other Black
now
people?
They speaking, because some of them speak, but now they starting to speak.
But do you see the
now.
other Black people, and do they think, it's a real question, do y'all think this is strange?
No,
that it's a bunch of white
Tenants
people sitting on stoops now and not Black people?
I'll just join the Tenants Association, Eric.
That this home is now $2.3 million, but the person that bought it only 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they bought it for $100,000 or $500,000. It's now 2.3, even four. I don't
answered
know.
your own question. You said that white people don't have to do much. The end of the sentence.
This is the end of the sentence.
Do they have to go and be educated on who was there before them, or the urban planning, to know about urban planning and redlining and the housing covenants in the 50s and the 60s? No, they don't actually have to have that education. Nobody's expecting them to have that. They're expecting us to have that. They're expecting Black people in Bed-Stuy or in other parts of Brooklyn to, you should have known how to keep your grandma's house. You should have known about predatory lending. You should have known that all of these things were like, the burden is on Black people, right? We are responsible for gentrification. That's what they say. Like, you should have did something about it. Oh, make sure you keep grandma's house. How I'm going to keep grandma's house? I ain't got no money. I need to sell her motherfucking house because that's the only asset that we have. And I don't have any liquid. So me keeping this house symbolically, what is that going to do for me? I don't have the money. Because when I'm in the home is valued at $600. When they get in the home, it's going to be $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million.
Depending on where it is,
in other places. Okay. It's like the point that you were making that we talk about all the time is, do they not see? Do they not see? If they see, do they care? But what justifications and rationalizations do white people have to adopt and make up so that they don't necessarily do anything or change anything or progress? Because with that progression, then take away their advantages and their benefits, right? Would it take away the merits? Right. So that's the question. If it takes away then what does that say about them? What does that say if you care so much about the advantage that this is an unfair advantage? No white person has really, I promise a guy, I could bet you dimes to donuts, I'll sit here and do it with anybody who want to argue with me. I'll argue with you. White people in the United States, in South Africa, and any of the other imperial sites, former imperial sites, France, the Netherlands, y'all can track y'all wealth from the slave trade, especially in the United States. That's whether your family had any direct connection to the slave trade at all. I can prove it. Other scholars have already proved it. It's already a wealth of scholarship that proves that point. From the Homestead Act on down.
England. Yes.
Oh my God, England, most especially United Kingdom.
It's what you said. I want you to make that point because it's so good. Is that we were talking about the Epstein files in the car, and we were trying to understand what is the impetus for someone like Marjorie Greene Taylor or any other person in government who really wants the Epstein files released, right? Marjorie Greene Taylor is going on a damn campaign, has lowered her voice, which I think is very intentional because usually she's screaming.
She combed her
all
hair
the time. She combed her hair, she groomed, and she's speaking real soft tone, like, yeah, we really need it. And yeah, my kids, their premiums are about to increase if this shutdown.
She talking about healthcare.
She's talking about healthcare. She's talking about healthcare, and she's talking about she don't agree with her colleagues that the Epstein files need to be released. Now, what would be the impetus? Why do you care? And that's the thing. When we talk about white people being capable of or not capable of love, it's not just towards Black people. Oh, no. You, it's a given that y'all don't see us as human. That's a given. We're talking about to each other as well. Y'all don't actually love each other either. Like,
or the children.
Have you seen relationships with two white people? I mean, it's no shade. It's no.
That's why I always bring up Scott and Lacey Peterson. I bring that up. What he did to her.
There has to be. I'm watching All Her Fault on Peacock. Ebony, I got Ebony into it now.
You ain't got me into it.
It's a perfect example of white relationships. Old girl said, "Oh, I have a meeting on the 25th. Can you be with your child, the dad? Can you be with your child?" He gonna say, "Oh, I have something as well." And she said, "Come on, can you just make this happen?" He ran away and started playing with the child. He said, "Sorry, can't do it." Ran, started playing with the child. And here she go. Shucks. That's what she did. Shucks.
That didn't happen.
I'm not kidding. I'll play you the scene.
I wish white people start saying shucks again.
Shucks.
Stop saying twins, start saying shucks. Wait a minute.
Why is this not an argument? Why is this not, hey, Johnny, go play over there. Yeah. I got to get your father together real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's power and dominance, power and control, how that is embedded in a lot of white relationships. Y'all need to listen to this podcast with open ears, okay? I'm not saying every relationship is not capable of love. I'm not saying all white relationships are bad or there's something wrong with them. I just think that y'all need to reevaluate what is at the root of y'all relationships considering this history, right? If you don't actually evaluate how you are in love with each other, then what is it, right? What is actually having it be a thing? You know what I mean? So
if you don't think about the binary oppositions that were necessary to create white and Black, white was good and Black was bad. That meant that Black was nasty, hypersexual, deviant. Y'all was the angelic virgins, Virgin Mary, all of that.
Is that what's keeping you together? If that's what's holding you together, is it really love?
We was disabled, insane, crazy. Y'all were sane, rational, civilized. We were barbarians.
I really think that it's something to toggle with.
Anybody that's
it's not for
white.
us to toggle with. It's for white people to toggle with. But what I was going to ask you to say again is we were talking about the Epstein files and how, what's the old boy's name? Prince Charles, what's his name? Andrew. Prince Andrew has been, well, he just Andrew now. He not Prince no more.
Andrew. We gonna call him Drew.
Andrew.
He just Drew.
He been stripped of his title because he was up in the fucking island with Epstein or whatever. But you were saying that they stripped him of his title, but
the only Drew that I recognize is Drew Down. Only Drew Down. That's Prince Drew Down. Well, because people are like, oh, the king, he did such a good thing by stripping him of his titles. And all stripping, they strip you of the titles. He got to move out of the big ass estate thing.
Where's he going to live?
The fucking big ass creep.
He going to move to Best-Eye.
Shut up. He might as well. Shit. And they gonna he gonna be smoking a cigarette with a motherfucking pap sitting right. He gonna be at the woods.
Let me get. Oh, this is gonna bring us. He gonna Tyler Perry probably gonna help him. No, let me shut up.
Tyler Perry Tyler Perry saying about it.
Prince Harry and Meghan.
They're the So
I thought they had no money.
This is the thing. How can you have a liberal side of a monarchy, a fucking empire, empirical fucking world, genocidal power, but then you have a conservative part called
somebody look it up. They're not liberal. They had a charity that was supporting Palestine, but the charity would not say that Israel deserves to exist or some sort of nonsense like that. They were not being Zionists. The charity was like, we don't say things to like be Zionists. We don't say things. they took their money out.
No, they didn't.
I'm not
Meghan
kidding.
Markle
Somebody, yes, somebody
Meghan did that.
Somebody fact check that. Yes, we'll fact check it. But yes, they stopped working with the charity because of that.
It was. I'm gonna be like y'all online. That was just Harry because Meghan, she just cook.
No,
She was just cooking. Mary, shit, look. Meghan is the woman. She ain't got nothing to do with that. It was just Harry.
Shout out to Meghan Markle real quick, because Meghan Markle said, when you have guests come over, put the magnesium salts in a mason jar, put a little lavender, and put a little wooden spoon so they could just scoop it out and put it in a tub. That's what our kid has now for their bath, because clearly that's just their bath at this point. But they have a little, right?
You know what Queen Elizabeth said?
What did Queen Elizabeth say?
Put the arsenic in the jar and have them just sniff it a little bit. And then take your pee. Take the formaldehyde crystals and just put them in a jar and have them sniff it.
Why is Queen Elizabeth and all these other motherfucking colonizers not considered serial killers?
Ooh. Yeah.
Why are they not considered serial killers?
Well, because the rational...
They calling Aileen, what they say?
Aileen, my homegirl who killed all the men.
They calling her a monster.
She's not a monster. Aileen Wuornos. She killed the men.
The men.
The white men.
The white men.
She kept it in the community.
Life of a monster. Wasn't that the thing that Charlie
She did white on white. She did white on white.
And you know what she said in court? I'll kill again.
They had to get Aileen up out of here because Aileen said, she said, let me out. So did you let me out? I'm telling you. Where I'm going and what I'm about to do. I
had to play that like 3 times. I was like, did she really just say in court I would kill again?
And honestly, that is one of the most sobering, like that is just, that's deep.
It's deep.
It's deep because of its clarity. It's so rational.
And you know Aileen was racist as hell, so whatever, but
look. She tried in her best way to undo it through her acts.
Hey, she's a victim of sexual assault. She was likely being assaulted by these people. She's a sex worker. Ain't don't nobody give a fuck about sex workers.
Yep.
See ya. Like, what's the problem? Seem like a American hero to me.
Right.
But why aren't they considered serial killers? Why is Queen Elizabeth not a serial killer?
Well, I think it's because it's not homicide, it's genocide. She's killing
Netanyahu is not a serial killer?
I mean, he's a murderer, yeah.
Every president is not a serial killer?
No, they murder people.
Every U.S.
I'll be
president.
honest, no shade with Obama. Them drones, his administration popularized them drones because Obama was one of the only presidents at that point to not have extensive military experience. So what happened was that the National Security Council and the Defense Department literally ran Obama. Like, do whatever we want you to do. And so Obama wasn't in there pressing no buttons. Them white men was talking about move out the way. They was pressing them up.
And there was a video that I saw on TikTok the other day that was like, I keep seeing Obama everywhere and doing all these, speeches for politicians, especially around the gubernatorial races in each state and yada, yada, yada. Why are people treating him like he's not responsible for the mess that we're in as well? He absolutely
slippery
is.
slope.
No, it's not no goddamn slippery slope. What you just said is proof of that. He's the one that was doing the drones, babe.
His administration, but he was following.
Babe, Democrats, when they're in office, I'm clear. They lay the groundwork for Republicans.
Yes, but that's because they're all following the same script.
Yes.
The same U.S. foreign policy script.
Then. You agree?
I can't cherry pick. I'm gonna have to say him. I'm gonna have to say Biden.
But
I'm gonna have to say George Bush.
Biden and George Bush are not
HW and W.
They're not on the trail. I'm talking about the gubernator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. I get
he's
it.
everywhere.
I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm just saying that before you mentioned Aileen Wuornos, what was we saying?
Because you said that they're rescinding Prince Andrew's titles, but they're not rescinding the.
Well, they're not releasing these countries from the Commonwealth. They're not dismantling the Commonwealth. Nobody's calling for the monarchy to be destroyed.
Which is upheld by sexual violence, by the way.
Yes.
So the sexual violence that y'all are recognizing is what Prince Andrew did, but not the sexual violence that y'all did to take over these countries, right? To literally take indigenous land. Y'all are full of shit.
Yes.
It's all full of shit. Like, it's disgusting.
Nobody asks, well, how did Westminster Abbey get built? And how did Buckingham Palace get built?
And how is it still standing? Every other goddamn castle on the continent of Africa has been taken down. They don't even exist no more.
A lot of them don't know.
So
and even in parts of the Arab world, in parts of the Arab world, like
Exactly.
things from the 4th, 5th century, where the world was essentially, in much of Europe, is being run by Muslims. A lot of that because the first thing that white people decided to do when they became white, they said all of this Islamophobia is in response to that. It's in retaliation, right? That is a global effort to bring Islam to heel, right? To bring Muslims to heel because of white people's wanting to be the only predominant world power historically. For all of us to believe the lie that they've always run the world. White people have not always ruled the world, or people who've looked white or decided to be white. They've not always run the world.
Yeah.
They've not done anything special, right? They always talk about, oh, we've achieved this and we built this and we built that. You haven't.
Yeah.
You just haven't.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part, where it's like, if I have to think sometimes, if I was white and I'm like a gentrifier and I'm living in Bushwick and stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, none of Puerto Ricans here and nothing like that. I guess maybe I too would kind of be like, I would rather not talk about it maybe, or not look at things. I would rather just kind of act like nothing happened. Like I would feel too awkward.
Hide.
A little bit. Like
so
where
you
I
would leave the house?
No, I would leave the house, but I would go to the bar. I would go to the coffee shop. I would go to the restaurant. I might go to the tennis meeting.
You wouldn't go to Kris Jenner's $2 million birthday party at Jeff Bezos' $175 million mansion?
Well, that's a different type of white person. Those
that's
white people, they don't care. People.
That's Tyler Perry. That's Chris Rock. That's Beyonce. That's Tina Knowles. That's
these
Meghan
are people
Markle,
who want to be
who apparently
white.
is black. That's Prince Harry. Like
these are people who want to be white, and
you would say Beyonce wants to be white. Now that is a controversial statement.
I don't think Beyonce wants to be white. However, in so much as that all of us as black people are groomed and conditioned to want to be something near it. Yes, that all good things come from them. Like if Beyonce just wore her hair, I don't know how culturally revolutionary that could be for a lot of people, because, you know, the Black is Beautiful movement came from the negritude movement, where black people are saying and affirming we are actually beautiful. Like that mattered. That
yes,
actually made a huge difference culturally and changed the world in a lot of ways. I don't even want to discount that as something just purely aesthetic. It wasn't purely aesthetic. It actually reverberated in so many other ways for black people, how we think about ourselves. How we think about ourselves going to influence our actions.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you looking like one of the Jenners, I don't know. You know
what the capitalism of it all, how do you connect that part? Because we both have said Beyonce is doing a lot of tours. Beyonce just finished not Renaissance. Yes, Renaissance. And then did Cowboy Carter. What was it? A year later? A year and a half later?
Yeah.
That's
Jay-Z definitely want to be white. I mean,
that's
he
quick.
does. They want to have this whole obsession with being a billionaire and having all this money and that shit go down when there's $1 billion on the elephant. Like having all of it is so that you can be like whites. Nobody need no $1 billion. You can't claim to care about, oh, black people built this country, or, you know, we are a part of America and just as much as anybody else, and our history and using imagery and iconography from the Black Panther Party. You can't possibly care about that, but also want to have $1 billion and have planes. And
would you say $1 million is similar to that? Could you want $1 million and still care about black people, or is it
you can want it?
I'm seriously asking you this. What amount of money has you lose class consciousness?
You can have $1 and lose class consciousness.
Period. But what has you be like, I'm distancing myself from blackness.
I'm distancing myself from blackness to get close to what? When you distance yourself from something, it's to go towards something else.
Yeah, so but I'm saying, what's that amount though? If somebody makes $250,000,
No. Those are those nuts and bolt kind of arguments that people make. If racial capitalism is loosely defined as a system in which the hyper exploitation of certain people along racialized lines for the benefit of mostly white people, if that is what capitalism is, right? What that means to say is you can see racial capitalism everywhere you go, right? I'm in a coffee shop yesterday in Williamsburg, and I'm the only black person in that coffee shop, except for people coming to get orders from DoorDash and Uber Eats and things like that, right? So I'm the only one. And actually, it's a Japanese coffee shop, you know. So I'm the only black person over there.
Yeah.
Except for the people who are forced to do the orders.
Yeah.
when you go into a university and you look at the vice provost or the deans, and then you look at the janitorial custodial staff, how do they look? How do the security guards look that are protecting the buildings? Versus the building owners. That's racial capitalism right there.
I guess my question to you is like, how do you navigate racial capitalism with harm reduction? Because obviously my thing is, this wasn't like a business meeting. And even if it was, that would be maybe even more egregious. But the fact that you went to a birthday party is so stupid. Like, you went to a birthday party of somebody who, in my opinion, had a major influence on Trump being elected, Jeff Bezos. Even Kris Jenner, right? We're major players in that. And whoever else was at this party, Zuckerberg was at the party. Like, you are hanging out with these people, but you also were standing on the stage saying that you endorse Kamala Harris. And literally people are without their SNAP benefits because of Trump, right? Like, and we could go on and on about.
And you only need SNAP benefits because of $175 million mansion, so that white men can $1 million mansions and spaceships. And other little toys. $1 billion toys and boats and yachts that can't even fit in harbors. That's if you didn't want to be like them, why are you hanging with them? So it is a desire, whether I want to believe it or not. I would love to believe that she don't want to be white. I would love to believe it was more deeper or complex than that, but that all roads lead back to Carthage.
And I think you saying that she wants to be white is nice. I think that Beyonce does not give a fuck about black people. I think that that's the long and short of it. Oprah, Tyler Perry, Chris Rock, all of these people on down who are all in attendance, and whoever else, Layla Anthony, like, you don't care.
Who's Layla Anthony?
That's Carmelo Anthony's ex-wife.
Oh, Lala.
What'd I say?
Layla.
Oh, Lala.
Sorry, Layla Ali was not at this party.
Well, we don't know, but Layla Ali was not there.
She was not there.
Yeah.
Lala.
Lala. Sorry. Too many L's.
I mean, well, then we come in full circle in the conversation. It's back to Tina Turner's wise, sagacious wisdom. What's love got to do with it? They don't have to love black people to expropriate from us. They don't have to love black people just because they black. They don't have to love black people for us to consume their work.
But this contradicts what we were saying earlier, right? Where it's like, I feel like inherently black people come from love.
We do.
I feel like we're conditioned to that. So then there's something along the way, Christianity.
I think it's beyond condition. I think it's ancestral. I think it's our African past.
I agree. Yes. I agree. But what is the conditioning that has us move away from it? From the preacher that's saying, no, that's not $2,000. I don't want it. That's saying this, the TikTok demons, to P. Diddy, to these people going to this party. It's deplorable. They honestly, in my opinion, I've already talked about this online, but they should really be ashamed of themselves. And anybody that's like, well, you wouldn't party, you wouldn't go to your own birthday party, or you don't think you should celebrate just because people are not receiving SNAP benefits. I'm not saying that you can't have a birthday party. Why are they going to a birthday party of this person? Why is Kris?
We're not talking about Kris Jenner. We're talking about these niggas.
Exactly.
And why are they going to the party? She can have a party all she wants.
I'm not surprised that Kris Jenner would have a birthday party at Jeff Bezos' manor. That she was at his wedding. I'm not shocked by that. I don't understand why these people are there. That's my only point.
I think we have to start to realize that.
And I do understand. That's a lie. I do understand. I do.
The thing is that you just said earlier that you don't have to necessarily be white to espouse the value of whiteness.
Period. You
don't have to be white to affirm the value of it.
Yeah.
Of whiteness, or to want that.
Yeah.
Remember, you just said, if I'm living in New Jersey in $1 million house and I get to go to my job on Wall Street and come back and, my kids is in daycare and I don't have no worries and I got food on the table, I'm not giving that up. The proximity to whiteness is like a prize. That explains you sitting at a table with Ivanka. That explains Jared Kushner. These people who, Jared Kushner, they might as well file charges against him with the ICC and the International Criminal Court for 100%. The genocide in Palestine. He is completely and explicitly complicit with these fake-ass Abraham Accords that they're trying to create and make after the Oslo Accords. They're trying to, like they have the scramble for Africa, divvy up Africa and figure out how they're going to steal from it, all these European powers. That's the same thing they're doing with Palestine. They're trying to figure out what part of that they're going to be stakeholders of and get money from. And the only way that's possible is through the dispossession of Palestinian people The only way that that's possible is through the ethnic cleansing of them. And the only way that's possible is to say these people are not human, they ain't got no souls, and therefore I'm not dispossessing nothing, and this was never their land.
That part.
And white people make this, leftists, even white people make this point all the time. Well, technically Palestine was a part of Jordan, and therefore it was actually called the British Mandate for Palestine. It wasn't actually like a real actual... Rationalizations, justifications. When you're around white people and all that type of shit, it'll rub off on you. Beyonce, when that was sitting up there doing, I'm sure she was rationalizations, justifications. You don't even fuck with the girl, but you at the mama party. Well,
I don't believe that they don't fuck with each other. They probably like each other.
But there's something, I don't know if there's something, there's a fakeness. And that's across the board with people. There's something to be said about a non-love ethic. It's like you try to get along with the get along. You concede to power. Beyonce, whether she loved black people or not or anything, do you believe these people are more powerful than you? Do you think they have something to offer you?
Yeah.
By way of being seen and in alignment with such power?
Yeah.
Will it help empower you towards your own agenda? That you have, your own capitalist
what
agenda?
Is the agenda? How much money do you need? I think that's where I'm at. It's how much money do you need?
And maybe it's not related to money. Maybe it is, and that's a deeper power where it's like the value. I'm valuable because I hang out with these people. People who are non-celebrities and people that's not wealthy, everyday people like us do it too.
Yes, 100%.
I want to be with the light-skinned, conventionally attractive, wavy hair queers, and I want to date them because that value. That's value. That's capital. That's social capital.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I was told was valuable. I'm not kicking it with disabled people. I'm not kicking it with people on crutches and kicking it with people in wheelchairs. I'm not hanging out with them. They can't do the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
Being in friendship with them will require me to care about other people.
Yeah.
I only care about myself.
Yeah.
Because that's the culture that I've inherited.
Yeah.
When you're in a culture, that means you're inculturated.
Yeah.
And the word culture comes from the Latin word cultura animus, which is essentially to cultivate a soul. But when Cicero was coming up with it, the Roman orator Cicero, he was using that as a way to talk about cultivating crops with agriculture, but he's talking about cultivating a soul. This is what's being grown in us in our culture. It's to behave and be like those people who we continually make celebrities. Celebrity is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. I'm not a celebrity because I say I'm a celebrity, or can't nobody just walk around and call themselves celebrity. Our job inside of fan culture and celebrity culture is to justify. For me to come up with all kind of reasons why it's okay for Beyonce to essentially be at the op house. Black people, we're a group or community. We're a monolithic. Let's think about it in monolithic terms, maybe. You're at the op's house. You're at the op house.
Yeah.
And you're kicking it with all the ops, all the people who would rather see black people dead, starving, and working on their assembly line in their warehouses. And that's it. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I guess that goes to say that it makes the point again, like, if what's love got to do with it? I don't know if I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, oh, they love black people. They might love their kids, like their family. They love the immediate black people in their lives. But it's one thing to love the immediate black people in your lives. It's another thing to love black people. It's totally different. To love blackness, to love black people. Our ancestors loved us. They couldn't even know that we would ever exist. And they risked their entire lives. Many of them died. Many of them were murdered. Many of them were executed. Many of them were annihilated. All throughout history for people who they would never know. Whenever colonization or oppression happened, you can bet your bottom dollar that there was always resistance to it. Resistance was there from the beginning. And they're resisting because they cared not just about themselves. I'm not finna resist because I only care about myself and my own survival. It's easy. If you care about yourself and your survival, you will just concede to power.
Yeah.
When you act in individualistic ways like a Beyonce or a Kris Jenner or a Kim Kardashian, a Kanye West, and all these type of Candace Owens, when you act in your own individual interests, it's easy to get bought. That's business as usual. I care about myself, so
that's it. That's it.
I'm not gonna resist that and not go to that party and get to argument with my husband about sitting at the table with I'm just be quiet. I'm not going to move out of this neighborhood. I fucking like it here. And I like all the restaurants. And I don't care who the fuck was here first, because guess what? They ain't here now. And I had nothing to do with it. My family is nice, and we love black people.
We voted for Mamdani.
We voted for Mamdani. And this country was built by immigrants, so I had to immigrate to this neighborhood. They think, I promise to God, they think like that. I'm just thinking about the value that we place on whiteness and think when a white person say and do anything. It's like this white man that was on The View talking about relationships. It's like, that has a connection too. Again, it's a theft of ideas. You said something so genius the other day. You were talking about Kinsey. Say that, what you were talking about.
So, the Kinsey scale, which essentially says that we are all bisexual, right? We are, that sexuality is fluid. But really what Kinsey said was that we're all
bisexual.
Mostly bisexual than we are very hetero or very gay, right? And I just was thinking like how everybody, especially people in the sex ed world, really lift that up.
Like canon.
That's like, yes, that's canon knowledge. And I just think that that's so wild, because the people who already made it clear that sexuality is fluid were indigenous people. They made that clear. It was evident. And if
throughout the world,
colonizers throughout the world spent any time getting to know indigenous cultures instead of taking from them and committing genocide, then we would have already had that knowledge. But no, colonizers commit genocide, remove all the indigenous knowledge and spiritual practices and understandings of gender and sexuality as it is, to then come around, I don't know, 100 some odd years later to say, oh, we're not just hetero or gay, which are also creations, right? Like literally heterosexuality is created because they were worried about homosexuality becoming a thing. So they literally created heterosexuality as a counter, okay? In the midst of creating or re-establishing race after the abolishment of slavery. So that is where you get heterosexuality. So Kinsey is like, wait a damn minute. We're not all heterosexual. We're not all gay.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing. It's never been a thing, Kinsey.
Yeah.
You didn't come up with that. But we think about that way. We give white cis men all of this thing. Same as Freud. Like, we give all of these people so much reverence when it's not even theirs.
You said they will steal from us and sell it back to us.
Yep. Steal from us and sell it back to us.
And I think that
and then we're like, oh my God, amazing. Holy crap.
But if an indigenous person, when an indigenous person during the early 18th and 17th century, when they try to say, I'm two-spirit, or they try to say whatever in their own language, Quechua, all these different indigenous languages, they saying who they are.
That's honestly my experience.
Nobody cares.
That's my experience in school. Where a lot of times in school, I would say something and people be like, what? Like, that does not make any sense. Like in a history class or whatever. What? I don't understand. Now, everybody's talking about that. Now, everybody's like, oh, yeah, definitely this.
We hate Kinsey.
Yeah, we hate Kinsey. I'm like, what? Like, wait a minute.
It all follows a script.
It's what you were saying. It's like, now I understand what you were saying about the churches. It's like this celebration, this adoration of white people, of a white Jesus. Like, if that's who it is that you're following, everything else will fall in line with that.
You've moved away from Palestinian Jesus.
Yeah. Ooh,
You've moved from actual Jesus. You've moved away from Palestinian Jesus.
Who literally didn't
Who was Palestinian.
break open one fish and bread and hand it to give it to the whole.
I don't even know how much of that
I love that story.
Yeah,
he had 2 pieces of fish and just broke it up and it fed like 1,500.
It didn't fit. Ain't no. First of all, I done had 2 pieces of bread and I done had 2 loaves of bread and I done had 2 fish, and that's not feeding nobody.
We gotta make it work.
That is not
Jesus
enough.
said we gotta make it work.
Make it enough.
Make it enough.
The point being is that I just think that that's the world we live in. White people and the white American culture is one of theft, right? So how much harder do white people have to work to love, especially themselves, each other, and non-white people? And at this point, love don't, like Tina Turner, it don't have nothing to do with it no more.
They don't.
Whether or not they change or progress, we're way post hoping white people change.
Yeah.
We're no longer at that point, right? And change is not really associated with whether or not they get on board. They either get with the program or they don't. I've always said it.
Yeah.
You either get with the program or you don't. I would love to have a multiracial rainbow coalition politic. You know, I would love for the actual Rainbow Coalition, I think it was called that, Fred Hampton Sr., before he was assassinated, he created a group for, you know, white power and all power to the people, black power to black people, Asian power to Asian people, red power to indigenous people, white power to white people.
Yes,
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. But who am I to disagree with somebody? Again, he gave his life for me. That's how I think about it. For every little black child, it didn't have to just be his child who was in when he was assassinated by the FBI. His partner was pregnant with Fred Hampton Jr. At that time when that happened, when she was right there next to him. That's the type. This is the type. So I think that
22, 21 when he was killed. Yes.
Yes, very young, very young. So this is the type of shit I think about when I think about white people. What's going to make them change? It's like they got to look at them own selves and say, all of this was done in my honor.
Yeah.
All this carnage, all this terror, all the Epstein files, even the carnage and the trafficking of little white children is done to uphold a hegemony of the white supremacist capitalist world and globe, right? Of which white people are the minority. They know they're the minority. It's to try to hold on to that power as best that they can.
Yeah.
So they can hold on to that capital, as the money as best as they can.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it was all about. Before there was actual physical currency, it was treasures.
Yeah.
It was gold and spices and jewels and all type of shit. Jewels you can still see. When they stole that shit from the Louvre, they're stealing Napoleon's, one of his wife's crown.
Shout out to the Louvre thieves.
Yeah, shout out to y'all niggas. But at the end of the day, people are, oh my God, they stole. It's like those jewels and those crowns.
Stolen.
It's stolen. That's what I'm saying. There's this book, Resistance State Violence. This is examples. Dr. Joy James' Resistance State Violence. It gives you a lineage and a chronology of ways that people have resistance to state violence.
And where can people study resistant state violence with you?
You can study that with me. Our group, Wretched Readers, we're reading that right now. Wretched Readers of the Earth. We have all people. It's open to everybody.
It's the Rainbow Coalition.
It is the Rainbow Coalition. However, if you are not of the global majority, you do not call yourself a wretched nothing of the earth. You could just be wretched, but you are not a wretched, but you can be a part of the group, absolutely. But Wretched Readers of the Earth, we're
Where
reading.
is it?
You can find all the information on Patreon. You can join for free. You can join for $5. Whatever the case may be, it's for everybody. And we use this text as a vehicle to figure out how we can apply the knowledge that Joy James has given us, the stories of resistance, to actually change the material conditions of our lives. It's not just a book club. We are reading for our intellectual enrichment and for political education insofar as that causes us to act.
Yes.
Right? So that people are not walking around here saying stuff like immigrants built this country and saying things that are just categorically untrue, but also invisibilizing the contributions of Black people to this world.
Yes.
And non-consensual contributions at that.
Yes.
Building a country non-consensually.
Yes.
And many immigrants who, non-white immigrants, and even white immigrants responsible for building this country did so under duress.
Yes.
Right? The coal miners, they were not doing that because they want to be in the coal.
Yeah.
There's lots of examples. The Ludlow Massacre. Those are Black and white and Latino workers coming together against the United States military and government and the corporations, the heads of the coal mine companies, saying that, these conditions we're working under is deplorable. That's cross-cultural solidarity, actual working class solidarity, not symbolic working class solidarity that is anti-Black and discounts Black people's role in this country and this world. So again, I think the through line for all this, we didn't really get to talk about the Epstein files. They've just got released, but all of those developments. But I don't know why. I guess we'll
be back next week.
We're being back next week, but we're going to ask y'all some questions and kind of get y'all to think of, like, if this is a country run by pedophiles, pedophilia is not necessarily something super punishable by law in the U.S.
Nope.
It is and it's not. There's not a lot of recourse for victims of abuse or assault, especially children. What is the fuss that all these racists in Congress are making about the Epstein files?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a pedophile.
Yes.
So what's T?
Yes.
Just think about that, I guess.
Yeah.
And
y'all elected him. You knew what was there. You knew what was the case.
And just the relationship that has to kind of the way the country is being run.
Yeah.
Why people's benefits would be taken away.
Yeah.
You know, but why do we have benefits in the first place?
Yeah. Food that feeds children.
Yeah.
But also, we can't be surprised by that when they were fine with bombing children in this country and in Sudan, Congo, and Palestine. Like, they don't care.
Yeah. We're actually doing it also be on Patreon or maybe on Erica's page. We were trying to start a little series of things we didn't talk about on the podcast because it's hella shit we didn't get to.
Oh, we got another podcast
we'll
next
figure,
week. Yes.
but we will add some of that to it because I'm still thinking about what Mom Donnie is now the New York City mayor.
Yes, but we're not getting into that because I got some thoughts
and I got some thoughts on that.
You got some thoughts?
I was going to talk about Resolution 3379.
Thank y'all for listening.
Yes.
Another episode. We're going to be in here more often. We're going to be in here.
We're going to try. This shit is not easy.
We're coming to the end of 2026. We're holding on. It's not easy.
Also have a special opportunity for those in the New York City tri-state area. We are doing a live podcast on December 5th. That's a Friday night at St. James Libations,
a Black queer-owned wine bar.
Yes, in partnership with an anti-capitalist magazine from the Boston Ujima Collective called Fortunately.
Yes.
So we're going to be working with them and we're going to be having a conversation in community, with community, about community. It's free. Pull up.
Stay tuned for those flyers, but we would love to see y'all in person.
Yes.
All right.
Love y'all.
Adios.
Peace.
Bye.